Hey guys, I figure in this video I would show some classic Halloween movies because Halloween is in about 30 days, give or take. So, in this video I figure I would show some of my favorite old school Halloween, some of the some silent movies and some just golden classics. So, stuff that some people don't really talk about anymore. But, the first one we have here is Dracula. And the original Dracula. This is the complete box set thing that has all the different movies, but this is the one that I'm referring to, the original. And this does include the Spanish version film, and this is Universal's very first talkie, or at least horror talkie rather. And they didn't know if it would do good, and obviously it did do good because we're still talking about it all these years later. This came out in 1931, and it's still one of the best early horror movies. So, next, Frankenstein. I don't like the original Frankenstein. It's all right. This came off the success of Dracula. But the one that I want to talk about is, my favorite one is Bride of Frankenstein. And again, I have them in that little box set where it has all the different Frankenstein movies in it or whatever. But Bride of Frankenstein is my favorite of the Universal horror genres. And I watched it at least every year for Halloween. And like I said, it just holds up to this day. It's still one of the best horror sequels of all time. And the special effects at that time were fantastic. It came out a couple years after Frankenstein. It came out in 1935. And yeah, like I said, it's just one of my favorite ones that I like to watch around Halloween time. Next, we have House of Wax. This is the later one. This is the 1953 version, but this also does include the original House of Wax from 1933. This has the Vincent Price, obviously, but they remade this movie several times, and it's just a fun early horror movie or whatever. It's not really scary, but the suspense of it is kind of fun, and it's just a really cool, like I said, it's House of Wax movie. This is with the Blu-ray. Just a basic disc for the Blu-ray, nothing special. Nothing special for that. Like I said, it does include some special features, and it does include the 1933 original House of Wax as well. So this is the one that I would buy just because you get two movies for the price of one, basically. Next is the Cabinet of Dr. Gallary, however you want to pronounce it. And this is 1920. This is probably the earliest horror movie, or at least one of the earliest horror movies out there that I can think of. I know there's some other early ones, but this one, the imagery and stuff, it's about a guy retelling he's in a psych ward, and he's kind of retelling his story, but you don't find out that he's in the psych ward till the end, and all the crazy stuff that he goes through. You can see a lot of Tim Burton influence on this because a lot of the scenery and stuff looks like a Tim Burton movie. There's special features, commentary, and there's a little booklet kind of thing. But no, this is a great movie though. It's a slow burner, so a lot of newer people probably wouldn't like it, but it's fine for what it is. This movie's great though. Next, I have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is the 1920 version with John Barrymore. You don't really have to explain this. It's about a doctor who goes crazy, and he has two different sides, but this film still holds up, and this is a classic movie. This includes two versions of the film, as well as a 1912 spoof, and there's a Dr. Packle and Mr. Pride 1925 slapstick, as well as a 1909 audio, and as well as audio commentary on here. And then that's just that. Next we have Phantom of the Opera, the original. I don't even know, 1925. It's got the 1925 version, and it says it's got the 1925 and the 1929, but we all know that those don't really exist anymore. It's just a compilation of both movies thrown together, but it includes commentary, and it includes different like alternative scores. And this movie is fantastic. Lon Chaney's performance is just fantastic. I mean, you can't go wrong with this particular movie. So there's the Phantom of the Opera, the original, and then Metropolis. Not really a horror movie, more of a science fiction movie, but I still include it in the this is the Blu-ray. This is the weird music version. I do have the original, but I figured I'd just show this one because it's cooler cover or whatever. But this is a early sci-fi by Fritz Lang. This came out in 1927/1984 for the new release, and it's just a classic movie. It's just really, really good. If you haven't watched Metropolis, I would sit down. It's not for everybody, but it influenced so many movies like Blade Runner, Star Wars with the robot kind of person on the front. Just so many movies influenced, especially a lot of music videos took influence from this movie. But it's a great movie if you haven't watched it. Next is Hakon, Witchcraft Through the Ages, 1922. And they have a 1968 retelling with William S. Burroughs narrating the film. It's a fun movie. It's weird. It's about witches and what they thought witches were like back in those days, obviously. And it's a weird movie. I would check it out. You can't really explain. But there's that. It gives you... So, there's Hakon. And another Fritz Lang movie. It's a whodunit movie. Little girl. It's one of the earliest... I don't know what predates it, because in Frankenstein he does kill a little girl in there, but there is also a little girl that dies in this one, and it's one of the earliest where you see a child die, but then they have to figure out who does it or whatever. So yeah, it's not really a horror movie, it's more like a suspense movie, but it's still fun. I would check this one out. Next, I have Nosferatu. What more can you say about Nosferatu? It's a classic, 1922, the silent movie. It's Dracula, pretty much. They couldn't get the rights for Dracula, so what they did was they just name changed it, and it's the same story as Dracula, just changed a few things around. Highly, highly recommend this one. This is one of the original DVDs for it, too, so this is the Kino version. There is a Blu-ray version of it, but this is fine for me. Next, I got The Golem, 1920. It's a German film, and it's about I think it's Russia, or one of them, but it's about a statue that comes to life, and it starts terrorizing the town because, yeah, why not? It's a fun movie. I would check it out. It's a new 4K restoration along with commentary and different versions. It shows you like the 4K restoration process, and it looks really good on 4K though. But even though the DVD, it's still a DVD, but you can tell that they did a good job with this. And then my last one that I'm going to show is The Man Who Laughs, and I don't know what year this came out. There's not 1928. There we go, 1928. The Man Who Laughs, and this is what inspired the Joker. But on top of that, though, it's a great movie. It's a great silent movie. It's just a really weird, fun ride for that kind of time period. So I would highly check this out. And like I said, all these movies I do watch. There are a few other silent movies that I watch, but these are the ones that I watch, are my go-to, especially around Halloween time. So thanks for watching. Bye.